Bitcoin, once thought to be an asset similar to gold. However, during Russia's invasion of Ukraine, we've seen these two assets take two very different paths. Joining us right now is Anthony Pompliano, Pomp Investments founder and partner. Anthony, good morning to you. We're all just trying to make sense of what Bitcoin is supposed to be. We've been told it's a currency. We've been told it's digital gold. Some people think it's a religion. Some people think it's a NASDAQ stock. What do you think it really is?
Yeah, well, thanks again for having me. Look, I think that ultimately Bitcoin serves as different things to different people. You know, if you look at money in general, money is a religion, whether it's fiat currency, whether it's Bitcoin, et cetera. You have to put confidence in the item that you're willing to exchange for goods or services. So I think that that's true across a lot of different assets. But when you start to look at kind of the Ukraine and Russia situation, what's fascinating to me is on the news of the actual invasion, gold moved upwards slightly and Bitcoin actually went down a couple of percent. But since about 5:30 on Thursday morning, what we've seen is Bitcoin's up 10% and gold's actually down about 0.5%. And so what I think is, we got to be careful of is not judging the performance of these assets based on a couple of hours. But I do think that the prevailing narrative of Bitcoin being that digital gold, being a censorship resistant technology, especially when we see sanctions, not only the United States to Russia, but we see China sanctioning Raytheon and Lockheed, or we see Canada sanctioning some of their own citizens. I think this is going to become a bigger and bigger narrative, and Bitcoin's going to continue to serve as one of the solutions as the world kind of wakes up to the fact that financial censorship is default.
And look, you know, my job is to be the professional skeptic and plays devil's advocate here. But if we're laying a gold chart over a Bitcoin chart, what we should do is lay a NASDAQ chart over a Bitcoin chart, because as Bitcoin went up even in the past day, you saw the markets also return. So doesn't it just suggest here we have a remarkably speculative asset?
Yeah, I think that you've got to look at a couple of different things. So there's definitely two different types of holders of Bitcoin. Maybe end of 2020, it was definitely mostly retail, and they treat Bitcoin as a reserve asset. Starting in the end of 2020, when we saw Paul Tudor Jones, Stanley Druckenmiller, a lot of institutions start to come in, those folks look at Bitcoin as the riskiest asset in their portfolio. And so whenever we go to a risk-off environment, they're going to sell the asset. Those retail investors, though, when you look at the on-chain metrics, continue to just dollar cost average and hold the asset. So still a pretty illiquid asset. The other component of this that I think is really important when we look at price over the last 3 or 4 months is that at the end of 2021, Bitcoin was up 65%. A lot of the crypto market was up 10, 15, 20x. And so a lot of fund managers were just taking profits. They end up booking those profits to take their fee. And so I think that kind of going into tax season, you'll see some selling for taxes, et cetera. And then we'll kind of be off to the races again. But I wouldn't read too much into the last 3 or 4 months of price movement, just given that it had gone up so much compared to other assets like the stock market, et cetera.
Hey, you, did you like this video? Great. We make 5 of them a day and post them here on this channel. Make sure you're subscribed, like the video, and see you next time.